Hello everybody, Burnedoutguy here and welcome back to Foundry. Alright, last episode we put together all this oil system stuff, and I've added a little bit more because we weren't done with our little process because we were making all the explosives. I said last time I was going to put 2 lines converging to go home and one. I lied, I'm doing one. And then these 3 here are going to go to be making explosives. I think that would be a good idea. So we're gonna have 1 line dedicated to just making these explosives, 1 line dedicated to making these explosives, but then both sets of explosives go in together making the high explosives, so that will back that system up pretty good, and then we should be okay. And then whenever we need explosives, well, we'll have the normal ones here and the advanced ones there. So that's the pipe dream, ladies and gentlemen. That is the pipe dream, and now all we have to do is work on trying to get the rest of the stuff here. So we got all the fluids coming down the middle. They go underneath here and they pop up over there, so nothing too special going under here, just one little pipe here doing his job. Other than that, that's it. So we did pretty much all this whole setup just to get that one little pipe going here. There, it's freaking awesome. I love it. So like I said, I moved the other ship here last time, so now we have baby boom 1 and 2, baby boom 1 and 2. And these 2 here are going to be big boom 1 and 2. I'm probably going to be needing a few more of these adding onto here, because 2 of these, they just don't really furnish this once it gets going, from what I could tell anyways. But anyways, whatever. I'm really doing all this temporarily, waiting for trains, because I really hope trains are gonna save my ass on all of these long distance builds that I'm doing. So yeah, I still haven't looked at them in experimental version either, so that's all going to be a surprise to me when they all come out. So today what we're going to work on, we need more components to finish these off. So as you can see that we have them separated and split off in the whole 9 yards and ready to go in. So we have the explosives. All we have to do is add the belt and they'll be ready to go. And then now today what we're going to work on is the other components. We're going to go over to the technium and we're going to make the wires, and we're going to make the other electronic components. So yeah, so we have these 2 things that we have to bring back to here. So, and then we have plates to do after, but that's the next step, right? We're gonna deal with the technium today. So technium is all the way down yonder. So we got 14 points down here that we'll be able to go work with. So we'll build a nice big factory system over here, making the wires and the electronic components, and we're going to ship them back here, so that way they're all ready to go to be put onto the production line and to make our big explosives. I'll probably end up doing something like this here too, as well as adding some kind of a buffer system in it, so that way when it does back up, it does have somewhat of a little bit of a buffer, like, because that's a lot of bloody material, but it can go by pretty quick if things are being used up fast. So we'll see how this works over time. It looks freaking amazing though. I do like it though. Everything looks really well nice. All right, so let's go over to the technium area. I gotta go get some more floors first, and then we'll head over there and we'll make a platform and all that stuff. So yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome over to the technium area. This one is underwater, which isn't a really big deal, because the other platform that we're going to put sits on top of it, and it's only the drill bit that touches it, so we're good for that. And then if you go here and we look at the node itself, right, we're pretty much right on the outskirts of it. So like, that was actually really good placement. So we got an elevator that goes all the way down, and then I haven't gone downstairs yet. I've been kind of like working on the fundamentals of the base. So here we got the power system that we're gonna have to power our little area over here. Hopefully this is enough to power all this. I think it will be. So the idea, the pipe dream, is that we have hopefully 4 elevators connected to this. We're going to have 4 sets of crushers. Each elevator is going to supply 1 production line. Then we know with 10 of these, we can easily furnish 20 smelters each. Okay. Those 20 smelters are going to furnish the other production lines that we have over here. So these first 4 are going to be the wire coils, and that's probably super overkill, but regardless, that's what they're going to be. And then these 2 sets here are going to be for the electronic components. Now these require the rods and the coils, so the rods will come straight out here and go into that one. The coils will be made from these rods here and put on a belt here, and they're just going to get taken off right away. So we'll have like the output belt here, input belt here, output belt here, input belt here, and we're just going to cross it like that all the way across, and that should be sufficient and look good at the same time. Those lines are all going to get fed into these boxes, and then these boxes are going to be kind of like the buffer to going over there, and I'm also going to put another buffer over there as well, so that way we kind of have a double buffer system. And then we're going to put, probably have to extend this out a little bit more, and we're going to put some ships to bring the cargo over to our area over there. And then once we get all this hooked up and the whole 9 yards, then we can go downstairs and blow the hell out of everything, add in the miners, the whole 9 yards, and kind of go from there. So let's start by maybe going downstairs and blowing the hell up out of everything, because this is pretty much all set up. All we have to do is add the belts, and we can do that as we're bringing the materials up, one thing at a time, right? So yeah, let's do that. Oh, we're down here on the first floor, so let's start giving her crap. Now we're very conveniently placed it right next to it, like we're so close. I love it. All right, let's go this way and see if we can find the nodes. I believe the first one is over this way. There you go, one there. Oh, and the other 2 is the other way. Oh, that's cool. All right. Very awesome. The first one is already right here, so now we just gotta widen the area. Pretty cool. Okay, so now we got the whole flooring in. This looks pretty nice. Now we can go and start adding some machines and some lighting. So I should have the machines here with me. Yep, these things here. Should be able to put in 2 of these guys. Oh, if I do it right. There we go, perfect. Unfortunately, this one only has 5. It's just like the other one. The first row only had 5. But we should be okay with that, hopefully. There we go. Now, we're just going to do the whole power thing, the light thing. There we go. Now everything is all nice and lit up and powered. Now we're just going to put the belts in and bring the materials to the elevator. Not bad, not bad. So here we go. We have everything going up. I hope should be well, because these are only 160 each. As I explained before, that we should be able to do... Oh, what the hell was it? 160. So 4 of these should fill up a belt, but I got 5, so I have 5 being split between the 2, so we should be good, I think. Yeah. All right, so now we have to go down to the next floor and hook up the next two belts. So this has got two this way and one that way. That's not too bad. We'll go get these two first, I guess. This one is a single, and then we have a double on this side. Let's go unlock the other one now. All right, and this is a double on this side. So this is gonna have another 5. So that means we're gonna have the same setup here as we did upstairs. All right, that's not too bad. Let me go widen this out and put some floors in, and we'll once again we get all the machines hooked up. Well, not hooked up, but placed, and the floors put in. Now we just got to do the whole power thing and put some lights in and bring the belts. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Getting there, getting there. There we go. Now all the lights are in. They're all powered. Now we just got to put the belts in and bring all the materials back home. There we go, with the last belt being hooked up. And that goes into the elevators. Now we just got to put the inputs in here. Bam, bam. Awesome. Perfect. Now that's everything done downstairs. Now we can head her on upstairs and start with the production. Man, excited. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're up top here. So let's start by pulling out this material, putting it into the crushers. How do I want to do that? Do I want to do the first row like this? Probably, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's do something like that. Everything's gonna go into the crushers, and now we got to work on like the exit to the crushers. So we'll just have stuff come down. Yeah, right in the middle. Yeah. There we go. All the belts are in. Now we just got to put the innies and outies, and we'll have to do the same thing for the crushers. Oh yeah, or not the crushers, the smelters. Oh, not bad, not bad. Now all we have to do is copy this recipe. Yeah. And put them into every single one of these crushers. And we'll be making the technium ore recipe, which is going to be giving us more materials in the end. Beautiful. Now let's work on putting all the entrances on the smelters. Crazy. Well, that's one of them hooked up. Go to the next one. I still have the exterior belts to put, but we'll get to that. There we go. Now we have all of them hooked up and all of them smelting. Now we just got to work on the exits and bringing them over to the next stage. That's perfect. Now all we have left to do is to finish by putting all the intakes on all the machines. So like I said, these ones here are going to feed these ones are going to feed these ones, and then we're just going to have one output on each. Yeah, I probably could have done like one on each row, but one each is going to be fine enough, because once I upgrade the belts, right, like we'll have more than enough going in there, but it also makes it look symmetry wise like with the other ones. So yeah, I kind of like that. Looks nice. All right, so let me program all these machines too at the same time, because I didn't do any of that, and put all the intakes in. So, and before it gets too dark, there we go. We have everything kind of like completed. All these are being filled up. What seems to be the issue here? Just speed, I guess, right? On how many we're making. Is that it? Oh, they're all giving her. That's for damn sure. But I guess that's as much as we're producing. Wondering if I should just turn that one into one of those as well, because this is going to be more than enough, I think. Yeah, I think that's going to be a little bit better. I think that's a smarter move. Yeah, way smarter move. Because then the worst comes to worst, I could just sit there and take this middle section out and add 2 belts. I'm sure 2 belts would probably fill that. Oh, let me try that actually. And then we could do something like that. Yeah, so I think that works better because you're still at 2 full lines, eh? So I'm not really changing anything. And then here we're probably producing like 1 full line the way that's going. So I think, yeah, I think that's a lot better. It'll help to keep this full, hopefully. I might even go back and upgrade these to tier 3 ones. So it'll be 1, 2, 60 tier 3 ones I think I would need. All right, let me go do that. Let's get 60 tier 3 of these things. All right, so now we seem to have all of these in green, tier 3s. So hopefully they should help produce a little bit faster. Oh, and all we need to do now is place down some of these guys here. Bam. All right. Let's see here. I wasn't planning on for. These things are chunky, man. Like so chunky. All right, so this is kind of what we got going on here now. We got all these going on that side, those ones going on that side. Pretty good, pretty good. Looking pretty nice, actually. So now we just got to set these up to what we need to put over here. So, all right, let's name these. We're gonna call this Tech Boom 1. EC Boom 2. That's what we're gonna call it. EC. There we go. These are just wire. Wire boom. One. That doesn't really matter. Wire boom 2. There. All right, so now all this is finally set up. This took quite a bit of time to do, so we'll head off to the area over here and we'll set the landing pads up. All right, so now we're back over here. We have the other little stations placed here, so now we just got to name them and get the materials over. Just excellent, ladies and gentlemen. So all the ships should be coming in, landing, and dropping off their resources. And here comes our first ship, ladies and gentlemen. This is awesome. The other one should be coming in sight there now. Good stuff, good stuff. There's a third one. This is awesome. Too bad they're so slow though, but and there's the fourth. And they take up a lot of space. So but regardless, here are the ships. All the materials are going to go in. Most excellent. And then now we just got to figure out how we get these over there. Okay, so now all we should have to be able to do is put an exit on that one. And one on this one. There we go. So now these two things are going to be feeding the machine. Awesome. Here comes the wires now. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is nice and backed up. The only thing we're missing now is the plates. Awesome. With all that being done and said, I think that's where we're going to call today's episode. There was a lot of work for me today in such a short little period of time for you. But next episode, we'll definitely get the plates over here and we'll be able to make both of our types of electronics, or not electronics, or bombs over here, our boom booms, right? So that's kind of what the pipe dream goal is for over here. So, and then once we get the plates in, we can connect these up and we can start making explosives, and it's going to be wonderful time, wonderful time. And then the goal after that is going to be fixing up the downstairs, our whole Thermalite setup, because that's pretty much all like why I'm doing all of this, so that way I can make a really nice big Thermalite setup downstairs and something that's going to furnish like long term. So yeah, all right, so I hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. Like, subscribe, peace, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.